How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Bordeaux have done it. They have beaten Northampton Saints 28-20 on the day. And my word, did both teams put in a performance. This is the first time Bordeaux have ever won the Champions Cup. And they also become the 14th team in the history to win it as well. So well done to Bordeaux. There's a lot I want to break down in this game. So before I continue, please like and subscribe. It really does help the channel grow. And let's break it down. So first up, the Saints started so fierce. Couple minutes in, coming in with some serious force, getting in a try, and honestly, all I saw was up and up from there. And then within the space of 5 minutes, we saw Ram and Furbank have to be replaced. I believe it was just the best and worst possible start the Saints could have had, and honestly, it was annoying to see, especially in a game like this, where we saw Ollie Slaito come in, we saw Tommy Freeman shift to 15, and a lot changed from there. Obviously, the Saints put up a very good fight. They worked very well, and they worked very hard as well. But I do feel that Bordeaux, they were just on it. They were there. They were ready at every single point. Whenever Bordeaux got the ball, they were working hard. BLBRA was an absolute menace. Damien Penaud was an absolute menace. It was very difficult to stop them. Damien Penaud really made his presence felt, and he showed why he is an elite level, winger. Same thing with BLBRA. His kicking was so deadly because he was kicking, he was chasing, and every point they were fighting for the ball. So Bordeaux, they were honestly looking at the game. I do feel Bordeaux deserved to win the game. Like I say, there were a bit of dodgy decisions from the ref, and I'm not being biased here. I mean, I'm talking from both ends, where I felt at certain points Bordeaux players got away with a couple bits. Same thing with the Saints. I feel that they could have got at least another one or two more yellow cards in it if the ref had to be consistent. That really changed the game, though. With the ref and his inconsistency. So, like I say, it comes from both ends. So I can't really complain too much in relation to that. But ultimately, Bordeaux, they were super strong. Whenever there was a scrum, they were super powerful. They were just putting in the hard work. We saw players like Maxime Lucu, who ended up getting man of the match. He put in such a strong performance, and he was always an absolute nightmare to deal with. Whether it was his straight out kicking, whether he was distributing the ball out, he was so quick. They were always fighting for the ball. Bordeaux just seemed like they were always at the rucks first. They just had that fire, just that little bit extra. Northampton, they did have a little bit of an issue in terms of handling and unforced errors. There was a lot of fumbling going on, which it's always horrible to see. But I don't know. It was just one of those games where I still felt the Saints had it in them to come back. I really do. Especially when they ended up leveling halftime 2020. They put in such a powerful performance. But ultimately, Bordeaux's kicking was just there. They were just on it. Maxime Lucu was brilliant. Jalibert was brilliant. Mofana, he annoyed the living hell out of me during this entire game. But again, he's such a strong run of the ball. And then BLBRA, like, how do you stop this man? BLBRA and Damien Penaud, they were just on fire, right? They outperformed pretty much everybody in here. They were here, there, everywhere. Whether they were linking up, whether we saw BLBRA coming in at that 9, distributing out when needed. It was just one of those difficult games. And yes, it's always sad to see, especially as a Saints fan. I wanted to see the Saints win, and as it got later on into that game, I really just felt it was just slipping away from them. Because every point that they would get something, every point that they would get kind of close to getting something or get within that realm, it would just fizzle out. right? They just wouldn't be quick enough on the mark. Bordeaux were just too powerful in the breakdown, and that quick play was just so deadly from Bordeaux. You know, they were strong at so many points. They were strong in the lineouts. They were putting on so much pressure in that in Northampton's 22. It was very, very hard for them to deal with anything, to, you know, to be completely fair. And then we look at stats. So 38% of Bordeaux's possession was in the Saints 22, whereas the Saints held more possession within Bordeaux's half, but at the halfway line, which, you know, that kind of shows a little bit of something there. So I don't know. It was hard to watch because it just felt like Bordeaux were just there. They were just that one step better than the Saints, and it would have made history to have, you know, two English European champions. Sadly, it wasn't to be. Bordeaux were the better team, and it was very, very sad to see Furbank, and James Ram go off so early. I think they could have had such a brilliant game, but ultimately, you know, hindsight is 2020. So, guys, from a disappointed fan, congratulations, Bordeaux. You deserve that win. Um, there's probably going to be a couple people that disagree with me. I just feel Bordeaux were just that one step better at every point, whether it's carries, whether it's making the most out of the ball, whether it's, you know, working that ball out wide. And this is something that we saw Bordeaux work so well, where they would get into the 22, Luku would hold up that ball just for a little bit extra, and then they would just work it out. The ball comes straight in from the first receiver out wide, and then that long ball just over the end. Boom. You know, they were just finding that space. They were drawing the Saints in very tight and then working that ball out wide so quickly. You look at that. I think it was Damien Pinot's first try. It was just too easy. It was just too easy. Their play was slick. You know, like I say, they were just that one step better. And like I say, it's annoying to see. We're gonna regroup, come back next year, and honestly, would have been one of these, you know, Disney films where, you know, the underdog comes through and wins it. But Bordeaux fully deserved the win. I'm so happy for you guys. Obviously, I'm a big fan of Bordeaux. I watch a lot of them in the top 14. Um, Regroup now for the Saints. Work on next year. We are going to be having a couple new players come in. Unfortunately, we are going to be seeing Warren Augustus, a player that I feel would have made such a big difference had he been playing. And yeah, we're going to be losing him, I believe, to Ulster. But we're also going to have a couple of players. I'm very excited about Ferrari coming in as well. He's just going to bring that extra bit of strength and power to that forward pack. And now it's just regroup, figure out what's going on, and kind of set everybody up for the internationals, and then start looking ahead to the next season. Because what else can you do? You know, the Saints are going to be licking their wounds. Bordeaux is going to be partying, and there's probably going to be a giant party in France. But guys, I'm going to end off with that. Just going to go in a corner and cry for a little bit, and I'm going to regroup for next season. So hopefully next season we have players like your Ollie Slightholmes get into form, come back fully fit, Furbank coming back fully fit, and hopefully an injury-free season. So, guys, drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Please like and subscribe, as always. And let's go Saints. See you.